Diamond was really calm and smart out there. He played the whole second half, and he was a monster down the stretch. Remember, that's our third game in, 5 days, so it helps to be 22 years old.
Wow, 22 years old, Jason. It seems like light years ago for us.
4 years ago for me.
All right, in the meantime, let's send you back to Patricia.
Well, as you guys are reminiscing about history when you were 22 years old, way back, that's like throwback right there. Now, Coach Tim Cone, in that same interview, actually noted a few players that really helped boost their chances to win that last game. Now, one of the things he noted was that Mark Borboran lent his athleticism off the bench. The energetic Tony De La Cruz did a lot, and so did Raynel Hugnatan, who was very tough. These are some of the bench players who's helped the team. Also, he mentioned Joe Devans, who's rebounding, and persistence gave the team a boost. But really, what they need to do in this game is get settled defensively, and especially the way they play against Jimmy Alapag, and that combination with Rani Del De Ocampo. These are some of the things that they played around in the 3-day break that they had, which was a welcome break. Now, again, they really just focus on tweaking stuff defensively after their Monday rest. Nico, Jason?
Maraming salamat, Patricia. Of course, tweaking is such an operative term for Talking Text because it's a different, iba na storya pag pagtapak ng semifinals.
And for Talking Text, in this game, major adjustments. Ryan Reyes not there, that changes their rotation. They talked about all of this. They wanted to give the ball to Shawn Daniels and to have that post presence. So they know that those two victories of Alaska, they weren't flukes. They were beaten by a team that right now playing with a lot of confidence, and that's why they had to make those adjustments.
We mentioned earlier Shawn Daniels, who's now resting on the bench, was going to be very active in this game. He had 5 points, 3 rebounds, 7 attempts, 7 field goal attempts in that opening quarter. And you're talking about an import that was not asked to score that much in the entire tournament.
Let's just compare those 7 attempts. 7 attempts in the first quarter of game number 4, 7 attempts in the entire game number 3.
A reach-in foul against Dillinger.
At kaya naman nakaupo muna si Shawn Daniels. Napagod.
Ay, hingal na siguro. Hindi naman sasanay na. Of course, when he was playing for Air 21 before, he was more active on offense. Iba yung papel niya sa team na yun. But now he has had to reprise that role as a go-to import. But it's going to be a tough task to ask Daniels to go toe-to-toe with the production of Diamon Simpson, the way Simpson has been playing here in the semis.
And when we were looking at the numbers before, when Talking Text was winning, the numbers of Shawn Daniels were like, that's enough. Eksakto
tama lang
ang binibigay ni Shawn Daniels. But of course, when you start not getting those W's, if you really look at the finer things in which you need, or where you can find the numbers to get a victory. And right now, for Coach Chot, he sees that import matchup-wise, -16 and -8 in terms of rebounds.
Maybe as offensive fouls called here against Sam Eman. Maybe if you're Chot, and if you're Talking Text, you're not really expecting Shawn to outdo Simpson. Pero bawasan naman natin yung difference in terms of stat production.
Kahit mga senior citizen discount, mga 20% lang. Ngayon,
malaking bagay na yun.
Ngayon kasi dinodoble.
3-point game, lamang pa rin ng Talking Text. Question is for how long? And here's Castro. Quinyahan will miss. Quinyahan got his own miss. And against 3 red shirts, he was fouled.
And for Talking Text, excellent ball movement. Came from one side to the other. When there was a double team, after that pick and roll, Alaska was actually rotating very well. But J.R. Kenyan, although he missed that shot, was aggressive and went to the basket. And right now, he's going to get 2 free throws.
J.R. Kenyan is in the game to allow his Extra Rice Incorporated CEO, Shawn Daniels, to take a breather. I'd like to thank Haynes, the official underwear of the PBA. And J.R. Kenyan always with steady hands from the line. So lamang ang Talking Text, 24-19, 2 minutes having gone by in the second quarter. On the floor for Alaska, Tenorio, Carriazo, Eman, De La Cruz, and Simpson. It will be last touch on Kinyan. Seems like any time in the game, Tim Con always has a twin tower combination on the floor, allowing guys like De La Cruz to hit open shots like just the one you saw.
And again, Tony De La Cruz having a very decent series, like we talked about. Already with 5 points, came in the latter part of the first quarter and has been productive for his team.
Talking Text still on top by 3. Shot clock down to 7. Bola na kay Alapag against Carriazo. Alapag to Dillinger. Dillinger, oh, air ball. Way short. Tenorio hasn't had any rest so far in this game, as Simpson scores as he gets the bounce.
You can see both teams playing at a very high level in this game. We've had some spurts, we've had some runs, but generally both teams are playing better offense to very good defense that we're seeing.
Here's Ranedel. Rebound for Simpson. At pagkakataon na para sa Alaska na lumamang in this game. They were down by as many as 9 points back in the opening quarter, and the runner is good. At lamang ng Alaska 25-24.
Francis Arnaiz with 2 points right there. LA Tenorio, one of those guys that can control that shot. One of his favorite shots, and if you've been a fan of the PBA for a very long time, yan ang mga talaga Francis Arnaiz ang dating.
Yan ang panapla sa mga import. He needed that shot as Alapag will miss. And Eman can do that. He can do that.
And actually, he didn't have to do that because the ball was on its way out. Actually had a chance for a rebound.
Well, there's that rebound para kay Diamon Simpson. Nearly 4 minutes having gone by in the second quarter. At lamang na ang Alaska. Here's Tenorio. Simpson. 10 to shoot. Simpson. That double team is on its way. Drop pass intended for Eman. Napunta kay De La Cruz. And Eman gets the rebound. He goes up and he will take 2.
If Alaska can get positive minutes coming from Sam Eman, that would be huge for them because he's a guy that can give a couple of minutes for Diamon Simpson to get some rest. And when they're together at the same time, ang hirap sila i-box out because you have 2 big guys that can get that rebound for you. 2 guys that are above or right about the 6'6" area.
Well, Sam Eman was actually part of the starting unit for the first 3 or 4 games of the Aces. Imagine the front line. Eman, Tos, and Simpson. All guys standing at least 6'7". Speaking of giants, we'll have a giant get-together in Turkey. The FIBA World Championships, August 29, September 13, here on Solar TV and BTV. Of course, yung Team USA, pwede nyo rin subaybayan. Those channels. At time out muna tayo. Labang ang Alaska 27-24.
Game 4.
Alaska lamang 27-24. Let's go to Patricia.
You know, because of the collision he had with Joe Devant's last game, Ryan Reyes' right knee is sprained. The good part is it's not a major injury, so he's actually optimistic about coming back next game. He says it's obviously tough to watch the team from the sidelines, but his dad is arriving next week, so he wants to make sure Talking Tex is still playing. What they're missing is the 10.3 points average, 33% from the three-point shooting line, 3 assists and 3 rebounds of Ryan Reyes. But more than that, I agree with what Jason said earlier. More than the numbers, it's really the energy that they'll be missing from Reyes. Miko, Jason?
That's offensive energy and most especially defensive intensity.
I think that's the major part right there, defensive-wise. Well, right now, you can argue Ryan Reyes is the best guard defender in the league right now because he can guard, he can lock you down one-on-one, and he's a great help defender.
Rana Del Deocapo hoping to be more active para sa Talking Text in this game. Cutting down Alaska's lead to 1 point.
And Talking Text needed that 8-0 run in a span of 2 minutes being done by Alaska on them. And right now, after that timeout, a good play set up and a good reaction on the part of the players.
Dillinger stopping Reyno Lugnatan in that sequence. On the floor for Talking Text, Jimmy Alapag, Rana Del Deocapo, Shawn Daniels, Mark Yee, and Jared Dillinger. And there's Daniels for the putback.
Those are the points in which we have grown accustomed to with Shawn Daniels. Really, the offense doesn't really revolve around him, but he finds a way to be productive for his team. And right now, already with 7 points.
Meantime, here